The ash stirred around my feet, a restless ocean of gray beneath the fractured towers of Verath. Above, the sky wept hues of crimson and deep violet, rending the heavens as if the world itself were bleeding out. I stood amidst this desolate beauty, an endless tableau of decay and ruin, feeling the weight of its melancholia in every breath. Each inhalation tasted of soot and embers, a bitterness that had become all too familiar. Yet today, beneath this torn sky, something was different, something that pulled at the edges of my weary mind. Sarah sat on the cold stone steps of what once must have been a grand library, her small form hunched over, drawing in the ash with a stick. Her hair, a cascade of gold, shimmered faintly in the dim light, contrasting sharply with the ashen world around her. She was a child, yet her eyes, pools of verdant mystery, held an age beyond her years. I approached her quietly, though she must have sensed me long before I halted a few feet away. The air crackled with the faint hum of ether, resonating with the shards embedded in the fabric of my coat, those crystalline luminescences, reminders of power now rare and precious. The light they emitted flickered across Sarah's face, casting her in a kaleidoscope of blues and whites. "Sarah," I called softly, my voice carrying the weight of uncountable battles and the residue of long-lost songs. She looked up, her gaze piercing, as if she could see right through the facade of strength that I projected. "You remember the unraveling, don't you?" I asked, though I already suspected the answer. Her recollections had intrigued me, haunted me, since the moment we met. Memories that should not belong to her, images of the world torn asunder, visions of chaos and creation intertwined, a tapestry of events she could never have witnessed in her young life. Her lips curved into a slight frown, eyes narrowing as she considered my question. "I remember pieces," she said slowly, her voice a fragile melody against the oppressive silence of Verath. "Flashes of light, the sky breaking apart, people running, and then just nothing." The words fell between us, hanging in the air like the embers that floated lazily in the wind. Her account was a jigsaw of broken dreams and half-formed nightmares, threads of a history that even now eluded my understanding. How could she know these things? A question that lingered, unanswered, biting at the curiosity I could not quell. I knelt beside her, feeling the rough texture of the stone beneath my knee, the cold seeping through the fabric of my coat. "Show me," I urged, my voice barely above a whisper. "Show me what you see." Her hand moved deftly, the stick tracing lines in the ash with the precision of an artist and the innocence of a child. I watched, mesmerized, as shapes began to form. A symbol, intricate and strange, unfathomable in its complexity. As the pattern emerged, my heart quickened, a rhythmic pounding that echoed in the hollow of my chest. The symbol was unfamiliar to the part of me that was merely human, but my ether eye, alive with electric blue energy, reacted with a jolt of recognition, a pulse of understanding without comprehension, a visceral acknowledgement of something seen but not perceived. It was as if the symbol resonated with the very fabric of ether, speaking a language of silence and power. "What is this?" I breathed, the question more to myself than to her. The symbol seemed to vibrate subtly, as if alive, radiating an energy that coiled around my senses with a gentle insistence. Sarah's eyes flickered with a light of their own, tiny stars captured in green depths. "I don't know," she replied, her voice a delicate thread of uncertainty woven into the tapestry of the moment. "But it feels like I should know." I turned my gaze from the drawing to her, studying her features, searching for a truth hidden beneath the surface. She was an enigma, a puzzle wrapped in innocence and mystery. Her presence here in this shattered world was more than mere happenstance. I felt it in the marrow of my bones, a certainty as unyielding as the stone beneath us. The sky above rumbled with distant thunder, a sound that reverberated through the silence, shaking loose memories long buried. The world of before the unraveling, before the ash and the fractured skies flickered briefly in my mind. Images of laughter, of green fields and blue skies unmarred by crimson tears, a life that belonged to another time, another version of myself. But those images were fleeting, dissipating into the gray ash of reality, leaving only Sarah and her impossible memories. She was a fragment of the unknown, a living contradiction that defied explanation. And yet, in the quiet corner of my heart where hope still dared to tread, I felt a flicker of something I had long thought extinguished: possibility. "Sarah," I said, my voice a low murmur, "you speak of things you shouldn't remember. You draw symbols I've never seen, yet I sense their power. Tell me, how can this be?" Her brow furrowed, a ripple of confusion passing over her delicate features. I don't know," she admitted, her voice a fragile whisper. "Sometimes I dream, and in my dreams I see these things. They feel real, like they're part of me, but I don't understand how." Dreams. I had heard of the dreamers, those rare souls who touch the ether in their sleep, glimpsing worlds beyond worlds. Could Sarah be one of them? Or was she something else entirely, something beyond my ken? The questions circled endlessly, a storm of uncertainty and intrigue. The embers danced around us, tiny fireflies amid the ash, casting sporadic glows that illuminated her face. Her innocence was juxtaposed against the stark reality of her insights, a juxtaposition that gnawed at the edges of my reason. I reached out almost involuntarily, tracing the air above the symbol she had drawn. As my fingers hovered above the lines, I felt the crackle of energy, a subtle charge that heightened my senses. The symbol seemed to pulse in response, a heart beating to a rhythm only I could hear. It was a language unspoken, an understanding that transcended words. I closed my eyes, letting the sensation wash over me, seeking the truth hidden within. The echoes of the past mingled with the silence of the present, creating a symphony of soundless whispers. Images of a world unmade, torn asunder by forces beyond comprehension flared in my mind, and through it all, a singular constant, the presence of the ether, the lifeblood of Verith, coursing through its veins even in its twilight. A realization stirred, gentle yet profound, as if surfacing from the depths of my subconscious. Sarah was not just a child with peculiar dreams, she was connected to the ether in ways I had never encountered. Her presence here now was not an accident. It was a part of a larger narrative, an unfolding story with roots buried deep in the soil of forgotten ages. She was a key, this child who should not remember, this child who dreamed in symbols and light, a key to unlocking the mysteries of the unraveling, to understanding the forces that had shaped our world into its current broken form. And perhaps, just perhaps, a key to something even greater, a reclamation of what had been lost. The thought filled me with a quiet resolve, a determination forged in the crucible of realization. Whatever she was, whatever her purpose, I would find it. I would unravel the threads of this mystery, follow the path her memories laid before me. For in her, I glimpsed the possibility of answers long sought, of truths obscured by time and shadow. I opened my eyes, meeting her gaze once more, finding in them a reflection of the journey yet to come. Her presence breathed life into the ash-laden air, a reminder that even in decay there existed the seeds of renewal. "Sarah," I said, the words a promise, a pledge, "you are more than you know. Together we will discover what that means." She nodded, a gesture of trust and acceptance. And in that moment, beneath the torn sky of Verith, I felt the stirrings of hope. If this story pulled you in, you know what to do. Hit that like button. It helps more wanderers find their way to ether and ash. And subscribe so you never miss the next story.